Tonight, I made the Zatarain's creamy blackened chicken and rice dinner from scratch, not from a box, and the blackening seasoning to go along with it. As you can see, we liked it a little bit. Tonight, we are replicating the Zatarain's creamy blackened chicken and rice meals. It is one of my favorites. It's just so flavorful and rich and delicious, and I just prefer to make it at home rather than buy in a box. So I'm going to start by making the blackening seasoning with 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt. You can increase or decrease that however you prefer. If you're watching your salt, you can decrease that or leave it out altogether. A half teaspoon each of black pepper. I like coarse ground black pepper. Use whatever you like. Half teaspoon of oregano. Half teaspoon of thyme. And then I'm doing a half teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now I'm going to tell you, if you don't like things to have cayenne pepper, if that's not a flavor you like, you can reduce it, you can leave it out altogether, or if you like things extra spicy, you can put however much you want. That's the beauty of making this kind of stuff at home. You get to control what's in it, you get to control the flavors. So this is our blackening seasoning, and this makes enough for 2 of the Zatarain's meals. We are going to use about half of this, but we're going to use it in 2 ways. One, I'm going to use it to season up about a pound of chicken breasts, and then I'm going to use some of it to go in the sauce that we're making. Okay, so in my skillet I have about 3 tablespoons of olive oil getting good and hot, and I'm just going to season my chicken. I cut it up into bite-size-ish pieces. I moved my seasoning into a jar, make my life a little bit easier when I'm seasoning with it. Okay, one thing about blackening is you want to make sure that your pan that you're cooking in is nice and hot so that you blacken it. We're not trying to burn it, we're not trying to scorch it, but when we put it in, we want it to be hot. So I've got it cooking. I'm just going to cook this until it's done, and this is one of those one-pot meals, like everything is cooking right in this skillet. So just keep developing those flavors in this skillet. That's what we want. Okay, my chicken is done. I've just removed it to a paper towel to set aside because we're about to cook the rice in this dish. So all the oil is still in there. All those delicious flavors are still in there. I'm going to turn my heat back on, just a medium, and I'm going to add 1 cup of rice to my pan and kind of toast the rice up just a little bit. Get some of those flavors. Any of those delicious bits that are down in the bottom, you want that. That's where the flavor is. Okay, I'm gonna let the rice brown up just a minute, and then I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of broth. Now I'm using my bouillon. If you haven't looked at my bouillon recipe, I have a video for that. I don't have any chicken broth right now, so I just made some using my bouillon. That's more than I would usually use to make a pan of rice because this has a sauce. Remember, it's creamy blackened chicken and rice. I'm not trying to cook all the water out like I would if I was just making a pan of rice. All right, that's getting toasty and happy. So I am going to add in my 2.5 cups of broth. Apparently I'm going to make a mess with it while I'm at it. Okay. I'm also going to add in 1 to 2 teaspoons of the seasoning mix that we made. That's your call. How much do you want in there? Now, I am going to say, if you worry about making blackened dishes because you don't like spicy stuff, the point of blackening isn't spicy, heat, hot. It's just really flavorful. So it shouldn't be burn your mouth, spicy, I can't even eat it. That's not the point. So you control the flavor by how much of the spice you put in. Okay, I'm adding in a tablespoon of tomato paste. About a tablespoon. I'm not measuring that. And I'm going to let the rice cook. I'm going to cover it, simmer it, and cook the rice just like I would if I was making a pan of rice. I want the rice tender but I'm not necessarily looking for all the liquid to be gone. Okay, my rice is tender. Now let's put this together. So I'm gonna add my chicken back in. I'm gonna add in 1 cup of heavy cream. And then I'm gonna add in about 3 ounces of cream cheese. I've just cubed it up to make it melt a little bit faster. And then we're just gonna leave this over a low heat till our sauce comes together. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit and just stir all this together. Now, usually I like to put about a 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan in here. I'm out, so we're just gonna have to have it without shredded Parmesan tonight, but it'll still be creamy and delicious. It'll be fine. Okay, I stirred in all the cream cheese. For the finishing touch, just some garlic chives on top. Okay, let's give it a try. I love the creaminess and the heat together. Such a good flavor. I hope you give it a try. Have a great day.